Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Yeah, we'll do $1 billion this year. You watch and see, Rebecca. It's going to be my best year ever, as proposed by Charles Fascini. Charles told me if I don't do my best year ever, that I shouldn't be in real estate. He's right. I got such a tremendous pipeline. How you doing, Becca?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, we should start the show. Hey, everybody, welcome to Freed on Business. I'm Jim Freed. We're going to have Rebecca Carlson on. We're going to talk about social media, branding yourself, how to use positive energy to build your business. It's what I do all the time. I'm making good money because of that. And my team, Rebecca Carlson and Reagan Mendoza are here. They're going to help you feel comfortable about yourself and building your brand. In the second half of the show, we're going to talk to my partner in the residential mortgage business, Ed Cairo. And Ed and I will be talking about 4 or 5 different deals we've done to help people. Each will be a different type of person that we've helped. So you'll be able to understand that while the refi boom is over and people are buying homes at a clip that's crazy, you can still get a really good mortgage for your house. If you think you missed the boom, it's back and we can help you. So stick with us. We're going to have a tremendous show. Reagan Mendoza, rock the world. We're South Florida's longest running business talk show. We've been on since 2008. Warren Henry's been our sponsor since 2012. I want to thank Larry Zinn, Eric Day, Samantha Wolf, and the whole team over there, Abe Cohn, all of our friends at Warren Henry. They make us feel like family. We are their family. They're our family. It's a tremendous thing to be a part of. And remember, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. They're stored 151st and Biscayne. Audis, they sell them up in Gainesville. Down in the Keys, I'm in a different place today. Down in the Keys are back there today. Down in the Keys, well, they sell them all. That's where I'm going to get my Jeep. I think I'm going to get a Jeep next time. They just look so good, and I go on all these Everglades trips and stuff now. So, join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. All the cars come with the tremendous Warren Henry advantage. There's a whole bunch of things, including the fact that you have 3 days to turn back your car if you don't like it. Nobody uses that. They all like their car. They love their car. Again, join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. I can't say it better myself. That's why we run that PSA all the time. You know, it's a hard place out there. People are not really that nice. I look for good, kind people, and I build my business around them. People bad, I get them out of my life. I just want them out of my life. So give me a call. I work with a whole bunch of families. At 2 o'clock today, I'm going to be talking to a family that wants to equity invest on top of one of my capital partners. I've got an 80% construction loan. I need 20%. I'll get it on the call at 2 o'clock. I promise you. Call me if your family wants to do something. I've got families that want me to bring them capital. I have families that want me to help them deploy capital. I have real estate capital partners. I have real estate operating partners. What do they all have in common? They're all really smart and kind. So come to me if you want to do a real estate deal. You don't have to deal with somebody who's really tough and nasty. People can draw the line and be kind. They just need to be transparent. And that's what we're going to talk about here on the show with Rebecca. We'll talk about all the secrets that help me build my brand and how I can be a nice guy in a real hard-butt business. So stay with us. And remember, when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at JimFreed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
I hit all the little buttons on Zoom. It makes everything jump around. I guarantee you nobody's had that experience. All right. Here we are. We're going to give out all my secrets today. We've got my secret sauce here on the show, Rebecca Carlson. Sometimes I call her to make sure my post is a little bit on. We talked on Monday. That's where this whole idea for the show came about. Rebecca, welcome to the show.
Jim, thank you so much for having me. It is always a joy to speak to you, whether in this formal forum or just the text messages and the calls that we get to do all week long.
Oh, listen, I love you. But let's talk about something that really started today. I opened up LinkedIn and somebody started railing about vaccinations and I got sucked in. Okay, we all know that I'm the 1%, that because of Vivian, I still have to wear my mask. Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. And I just avoid them like the plague. Oh, I'm in my mom's today. I avoid them. Oh, I'm going to take my sister to the airport after this. I can't wait. My sister and my niece are outside. I'm going to take them back to the airport. I'm going to spend the last little bit of time with them. But where was I? So people were talking about the pandemic, and they don't realize that there are still people out there that are vulnerable. And
sure.
You read through all the comments. I won't characterize them, but they were filled with misinformation and I'll have to say it, unpatriotic things that people think are being patriotic, and it's unfortunate. So I just ran away. I ran away because they didn't want to say anything that would violate my brand. I said, I don't believe in this. I think everybody should get vaccinated, and then that's it. And then boom, right below me. I called the guys that did the post. They're friends of mine. I just want to talk to them about the issue. But the bottom line is what I really am is just honest and transparent. And that's what works. That's what works. I call a short list of people. Well, since I'm at my mom's, this is what my list looks like, only it's different. Can you see it? You can't really see it. Oh, there it is. That's what my list looks like. Where do I get it from? I guess I get it from her. She's really organized and anal, and so am I. But people love that as long as you're nice about it. Sometimes I get on the phone and I'm strong because I'm very opinionated and I know the answer before the people almost start. And it's really hard for me to control myself. But I work hard to stay on brand. And when I notice it's happening, I apologize. So really, what I am is just here to help people. Like the hands say. So I'm helping people. I'm speaking with them as kindly as I can, and they're responsive. I mean, is it really that simple, Rebecca?
I actually think it is, because those are authentically parts of you. I think one of the really amazing things that social media has done is that it has taken away that layer of professionalism that meant that you weren't human, that you were like a robot performing in business. And instead, it's given this great voice to having your own identity and to being authentically you. And I was thinking about that a lot as we started talking about this show, that you have been able to portray, and very much through social media, some vulnerability. And I think people are afraid of being vulnerable. And yet those are the things that connect us as human beings. People want to do business with people that they know, that they care about, that they have relationships with. Everyone wants to have that win-win situation where a rising tide lifts all boats. Well, how do you do that? By having authentic connections with people.
Amazing. So I want to tell you about where I went yesterday. I went yesterday to meet a young man. He showed me the picture of his grandfather teaching him how to fish. Leave it at that. Okay.
Aww.
It was beautiful. I pulled up to the guy's place and there were a bunch of white egrets that were in front of his front door. The FedEx guy drove through and disturbed them. I screamed at the FedEx guy. I have pictures, but I'm not going to publish them because it's a real estate deal. So it's beautiful. It's a unicorn. It's 100,000 square feet of industrial, right at a tremendous location. Amazon just leased the building next to it, so it's a great location. And he wants to go slow and refit the whole thing and honor his grandfather. I am so pleased to help with that. And you go, Jim, how did you meet this guy? He showed up at one of the UF events. He didn't go to UF. He just attended because we have an open door policy. And he was just kind and nice, and we just hit it off. I completely forgot about the guy. And 5 years later, he called me, and he remarked back that 5 years ago, in a place where he didn't know anybody, I was kind and authentic to him. I think I just hit the ball out of the park. And I'm so pleased to be with him. He makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to want to help him. And what I ended with was that my goal was that his mom would feel proud that we were honoring her father's legacy through her son. And that's what I want to do. And when I say I do family office business and family business, that is the essence of what I want to do with a family. I want to help the next gen figure it out so that they can honor the prior gens in a really nice way without being mixed up or taken advantage of. Because a lot of times people take advantage. And I sat there, I put right on the telephone the lender I wanted to do it with. It's a person that's demographically, age-wise similar, that's building his career at one of the community banks. And I know that they'll do a deal with him because he needs money now and then money down the road. And I'm doing that with one of my other clients with the bank. So it's really exciting. The banker, by the way, is another young man that I mentor that went to UF. This other guy went to Nova, actually. I don't care where somebody went. I just care that they're loving and kind. So I'm going to put together two people that are tremendous. One phone call, a lifetime's worth of work, getting to know each of them and having the credibility to be able to do it. And my friend, the banker, walked right into the credit office and basically got a verbal based on what I told him. And we have a structure. I'm going to try to meet on Monday with everybody. See that? I really mean that.
Well, and I think it does go back to, you've always said that value system alignment.
Yes. But the value system that I have is, so I'm on the phone today with one of my big developer clients, and he talks about how property management is about being kind to people. And he says that a great example that he's been using recently, how not to do it, is the building I live in. So, yes, because he's a kind person. And the guys on the phone go, "Are you a kind, nice person?" He goes, "Yeah." "Are you? And you're in real estate?" They go, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Wow, that's all five of us. I think all five of the nice guys in real estate are on the phone right now." Yes, that's what I try to do. And he was right. The five nice guys in real estate were on the phone. The capital markets people that I work with in New York, you know what their brand is? Their brand is they solve for yes. Oh, I'm writing that down. They solve for yes. I said that to my client and he loved it.
You trust them. You know that they're going to work for completion. Yes.
And that they're going to align themselves with you. Align themselves with you, which is the most important part. With these capital partners, I'll just talk about the guy. So I bring him down. He looks at the property. He goes, "Yeah, this is great. This is great. And by the way, let's do the third phase over there. I'll give you the money for that too." No lender comes down and says that. No one. I love the guy. He's tremendous. I always say people are the smartest person I know. I'll rephrase it. He is one of the most amazing real estate dudes I've ever met. And I bring him to my friends. The email that you did on Tuesday, where I talk about all I want to do is connect my friends. What happened? You know what happened. One of my friends that's a community banker called me and says, "Let's connect. I see you're doing stuff that I should be doing with you." And I said, "You're darn right you are. I called you a year ago, but you had a personal crisis you couldn't come to the table with." But he kept getting the emails, and the emails are all full of the same message. Our message is that.
We've worked really hard to make sure that we are totally in alignment with our message. And it's not a strategy per se, right? Of course, you want to have a messaging strategy, but the message for us is to remain completely authentic to your brand. And that's changed over the past several years we've been working together. At first it seemed, that you're a very formal deal guy and, super aggressive, hard-nosed real estate gentleman, which you are. But there's a side to you that is so generous with your time and your connections that I don't think had really been tapped into before then. So we have been able to change our messaging and actually change some of the visuals of your brand to make it more colorful, to make it more lively, to make things pretty awesome like you are.
The mangoes didn't get 500. They only got 250 or 300, but we're in the middle of summer. I was so busy. I wasn't able to pound it and lift it myself. And I thought, and the best part was you thinking they were grapes. Oh, I thought you are such an up-northy person. I had to out you. You're such an up-northy person. You get frozen mango at Fresh Market and Whole Foods, okay?
Yes,
and
it's frozen.
Really good. It's so good in a smoothie. You have no idea.
I was so embarrassed.
Don't worry. And listen, I want you and your team to come down here and go on what I did with my niece. I'm going to take you to the Everglades. And if you have enough guts, we can go scuba diving too. You could see why people come to South Florida. And it isn't because of the tall buildings. Okay, we ran over a little. Mendoza's going to take it. We're going to go back and we're going to talk some more in a second with Bekah Carlson about keeping your brand authentic. And she'll draw out a couple of goodies for me. So Reagan, rock it. I had to go check with the peanut gallery. Of course, they can hear me through the brick wall. What a surprise. They say I'm doing really good. What a surprise. I know I'm good because I'm feeling great, and that's what I'm projecting. And who wants to be with anybody that's sourpuss? Not me. Guess what? No sourpusses at Warren Henry either. When you're looking to buy, you like that. Was that good? When you're looking to buy car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why I have to check out Warren Henry. I just love Larry's in. He just walks on water. I hope they had their new kid. I have to ask Vivian. She would know. Hey, Courtney, good luck with the kid. Larry, good luck with the kid. Warren, you're another grandfather in there. High five to you. Eric, you're an uncle. Sam, you're a mom too. Hey, everybody, go to Warren Henry. Why? You just heard why. Become a member of the Warren Henry family. They sell Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar here at 151st and Biscayne. They have May Stark, my favorite service person. She takes care of us all and makes us feel like $1 million. You want an Audi? Oh, those are tremendous cars. They've got them up in Gainesville. You want anything else? They got them all down in the Keys. And there's great news coming too about new nameplates. I can't tell yet. So if you want an amazing car, go to my friends at Warren Henry. Always the best price. Always the best service. Always Warren Henry.
This is Bekah Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Bekah, that's Bekah at carlsonintegrated.com. That's Bekah at carlsonintegrated.com.
Yeah, Bekah, a picture you're going to crack up when you see it's the birds from yesterday.
Yay!
All right. Yay, yes, exactly. That's Bekah. Call her. She helps me look good. You'll hear about it now. Usually I talk about me. Call me for real estate deals. I got great money and I got smart people. I want to talk about her for a minute. What happens is sometimes when I'm doing my morning post, I don't know how good it is or so I ask her. And she helps me make sure that I stay between the rails. So far, I haven't gone outside the rails, just for the record. I've always been pretty right on. She just makes me feel good about it. I can make you feel good about your real estate deals. Call me. I'm helping one family totally redevelop their industrial park in Broward County. I'm helping another family redevelop, isn't that cute? Redevelop multifamily all across the state. I've got another family I'm helping do memory care. What's that? I can't remember. But anyway, give me a call. I've got really creative capital, all the different silos, doing retail also, retail construction, Retail JV. Retail JV. Call me. I've got capital for everything. Healthcare, multifamily, condo, retail. Yes, and I'm also doing a perm for institutional office building. That's right. You need me, call me or DM me. I can't give out the numbers because people stalk me, but you know how to get me if you need me. And remember, when you call me, it's always all about you. Yeah, don't you remember FDLE had to come to my house because some guy threatened me?
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Yeah, by the way, the death threat was just a fake thing we traced to an email that they know is BS in Nigeria. So we'll let that all go. I'm all cool. So we're here with Bekah Carlson. She helps me keep my brand between the rails. What's my brand? My brand is that I self-actualize by helping other people achieve their dreams and goals. How do I do, Rebecca?
Well, you do that through representation of them in the financial sector. You do it through cultivating relationships and introducing people and facilitating connections. And you do it by raising awareness.
Yeah, but how do I do it doing that? How do I do?
How do you do?
I'm good. I was looking for this.
You do incredibly well, but I want to actually delve into what you were just talking about, because you've had significant challenges from your current living situation to the crazy death threat guy to Vivian having to find your wife a kidney through social media, not to mention, normal economic cycles, normal real estate cycles. Oh, that's right. Oh, we had like this pandemic thing for like a year and a half. And you're going through this period now where you're feeling like a lot of judgment and people being unfair about your mask wearing. And you focused on that for your post yesterday, and you brought it all back to persistence. And the piece of persistence that I thought was also important that you were able to include was that piece about positive energy. A lot of us go through challenges, and a lot of your audience goes through challenges. And some of them, it is that challenge of, hey, I'm still wearing a mask because I'm around people who have autoimmune deficiencies and they could get hurt. This is still a dangerous disease in our society, and we've got to do something about it. And I've got to protect the people that I love. And yet you are still facing all of these things and infusing your positive energy into it. How do you do it, Jim?
Sometimes I have to reset. I start out every day. It used to be in the beginning of the pandemic, I was locked in, and I would stand and ruminate and finally say something positive to myself and then push that out to everybody. It's harder now. It's harder now because you can go out a little bit. And I don't have the same routine. You see, I live with a routine. I got to have a routine, and I have no routine now. That's the hardest part, is I have no routine. So I try to have a routine. What I do is I go to synagogue. I go there. I'm not alone. Okay. Because in the morning you're alone. So I go there and I'm not alone. Nobody there is competing with me for anything. I actually want to ask them what they pray about. I want to know what they're thinking about, but I don't ask them. What I do is, first, I do the prayers, in the way that they prescribe them. Then I ask for my own stuff. And today what I did was I asked to be able to fulfill all of God's commandments as best I can, knowing that I won't be perfect, and to accept myself for not being perfect, which is the hardest thing anybody ever has to do. And I asked for the strength to be kind and trustworthy. And then I thanked the man who founded the synagogue for providing me with the opportunity to have a place to go. And remember, that's where my plants are too. So afterwards, I spoke with the rabbi about taking care of the plants. And now that they're up there and we know what the issues are going forward with them, I'm going to address them with some new planters and stuff for the rabbi and take care of that place. The legacy, the Jim and Vivian Serenity Garden will be there. The kids play there. The stuff that I had originally, the stuff in it's not really for outdoors. It was for more of a protected place. So we have to make some changes, but it makes me feel good. So how do I project the positive energy? Sometimes I have to stop and summon it. But you know what? It's almost always there. I surround myself with the people that enhance it. But I have to have it. You have to have it for yourself, or you can't get it from somebody else. You have to have it. And by the way, it takes a lot of courage.
I was thinking that exactly. That takes courage and it takes choice. You're choosing to be filled with positive energy.
Yes. And believe me, I once worked in an environment. Hold on. This is the guy that had the bad text about the masks. And he's going to talk with me, and he's going to understand how he hurt my feelings. And he's going to understand why what he's doing is unpatriotic and wrong. That standing up for people's choice is fine, but he's making somebody's choice for them. He's choosing to expose people that don't want to be exposed. That's his choice. My choice is to wear a mask to protect myself and others. So it's not really a political debate. Unfortunately, somebody made it that. It's not really, it's just being a member of society. I didn't want to get the shot. I didn't want to put something like that in my body. It almost killed Vivian. Let's be truthful. Yeah. Okay. And she's going to need another one. She definitely needs the booster. And then I'll get the booster too. Hopefully it won't put us down too hard. But I do it for her because we've gone through all this. Why would I stop now? What happens if this is what did it to her? How bad would I feel? How would I search my soul for the person? I would contact Trace and I would go after the person that gave it to me. I would kick their ass. Who the fuck are they? Sorry for the bad word. So people are making sacrifices. People are terrified. Other people are just going out and bouncing around and being happy. You know, my brand is to be happy and positive, and I am. I'm happy and positive. I'm happy that I'm going to take care of everything, and I'm positive everything's going to be okay. It is. I don't want to be unhappy, and I don't want to project anything but that. I'm working on tremendous transactions. I'm in the position to help the people that I work with. If they need a little help, I can help them. Okay. So it's really, really been an exciting time for me, and it's only going to get better. I'm not saying that the pandemic is over or that I'm through the pandemic. I'm saying that I've adjusted to the pandemic. And yes, I used to be the guy with the short hair and the perfect tie and everything else. Now I'm just me. I got the happy hair. I'm called the happy hair. And I'm not wearing a tie today. I wore a nice shirt yesterday. Didn't need a tie. You know, I don't know if I'll ever need a tie again. Probably will, but not sure when. And, you know, the most important thing is to project who I really am. Who I really am. Other people are trying to project who they are, or they're trying to disrupt who I am. In some cases, that's the politics people. But I shine through because it's true and authentic. And I want to thank you for helping me do that. You only got a couple minutes left in the segment. How would you like to wrap up?
Well, I wanted to wrap up encouraging our listeners and our audience to continue to grow their brand, to continue to be brave in their authenticity, because there's a mindset that what we have to project is like a pretend version of ourselves, right? But authenticity means that it's consistent for a really long time because it's actually who you are. And who you are can and should grow. So we want to make sure as we work through branding pieces as individuals and as companies that we're tapping into the ways that we're growing and developing, and that we're making sure that those are incorporated into our brand, because our brand grows.
Yes. Yeah. It can't be stagnant. Okay. Brand isn't stagnant. Maybe the tagline is stagnant, but the things that go into it are completely different. You know, you want to stay an extra segment? We got time for you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to. Yes.
We'll do another segment with Bekah. Stick with us. We'll have all that great energy coming at you, and then Ed will join us right after that. Hey, We are South Florida's longest running business talk show. I was just hooking up with Ed there, just getting Ed rallied. So I want to thank everybody for being on and being with us. And of course, I'm Jim Fried. This is my podcast, and our sponsor is Warren Henry. We're South Florida's longest running business talk show, been on since 2008. Warren Henry's been our sponsor since 2014. I love my Warren Henry cars, but I love the people that stand behind them even more. Larry, Warren, Eric, Sam, everybody over there is tremendous. You know, you want to looking for a new car? I messed up the whole read, but it doesn't really matter. The reality is that they sell Audis up in Gainesville. They sell everything down in the Keys, and up here at 151st and Biscayne, they sell Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. They're all great cars. They all come with the Warren Henry advantage. It's a long list of great stuff they do for you. But the number one thing you get is that they treat you like family. So join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, and lots of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. I'm Jim Fried. Give me a call. I'm always all about you when you call me. I've been doing this for 40 years, done billions of dollars in real estate. I help families execute their plan. The next gen helping the first gen or the third gen. That's what I do. I help everybody get together, and I bring kindness to the table. My brand is that I self-actualize by helping other people achieve their dreams and goals. Let me help you achieve yours. Reach out to me on my phone, direct message me, LinkedIn, all those things. I'm readily available. Everybody with the name Jim Fried hates me if they're on Google because they're on page 4. So why do you call me? Because when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Fried on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Fried or at Fried on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Fried1. Now, back to your host, Jim Fried.
All right, we're back. We're waiting for Ed to dial in. Ed and I are going to talk about how we help people with mortgages. It's totally on brand. Bekah will probably stick with us through the whole thing because she works with Ed too. So Bekah, you were all happy that we had an extra segment, at least, that we were going to do. What do you want to talk about?
All right. Well, it's July, which means the first half of the year is over, which means that it's time to reevaluate goals. Ooh. And start thinking about how we're modifying our goals for the second half of the year.
Oh my goodness. People
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Well, I know a few who do that. And I was thinking that maybe you and I could do a working segment right here of working through some of your goals that you thought you had at the beginning of the year and whether those are going to change a little bit for the second half of the year.
They are. So let's go.
All right. So what was one of your goals for the entire year that at the beginning that you had from the beginning of the year?
Do more single family residential.
Ooh.
But the market cooled off and the commercial market heated up. So now what I'm doing is I'm totally reorienting everything towards commercial.
All
and
right.
Commercial and residential somewhat dilute each other. So it's a difficult balancing act. Ed and I were going to talk about some of the loans we did for some of the kids, for developers' kids, or for service providers, or how we couldn't do the offshore developer because he didn't have regular cash flow. Even though he had a lot of equity, he didn't have enough cash flow. So it was really interesting. Each person's different. And I had you know what? I had somebody that was going to guarantee somebody's loan. That loan fell through, but the guarantor, they called me back to do a loan for them. I told them, thank you. That really made me feel good.
Wow.
Because I gave him good service on the other thing, and I treated him with respect, even though it's I'll say it, a $350,000 home loan, and I'm working on, my call this morning was a $500 million multifamily loan. That's what I really do. You know, but when the pandemic hit, I wanted to help everybody with their home loans. So I teamed up with Ed. We did a bunch of home loans. I could still do them, and I can do more. It's just that right now my time is better spent doing the bigger deals. But I had a call yesterday on, like I said, a $250,000, $300,000 mortgage, and I did it for the person because they needed help. And by the way, my phone was going crazy for the $500 million deal and I didn't pick up.
Well, again, that aligns with your brand and with who you intrinsically are, that you want to help people. So when there was a challenging environment and when you knew that people were needing help in an area where you could actually help them, you're actually experienced in mortgages, you found the right partner on the home loan thing to make sure that they were taken care of and that you had the perfect way to help them and serve their needs. I think that's correlates, and it's very instructive that the second half of the year, you're instead focusing, or as well, maybe increasing that focus on commercial, because there are people who need help with those because they've gotten really hairy. Deals have gotten really complex.
Yes. Even the simplest things are difficult to accomplish now. People want to know about the viability of the tenants, both office and retail. They want to see if you really do have pre-sales. If it's a condo, everybody says they got lots of pre-sales. Is that really a reservation? Then I have people that are doing resort residential. The sales velocity is not really that fast at a lot of those places. So they have to make sure they're well capitalized with the right partner. I'm not really looking at those transactions as resort deals. I'm looking them as more as housing deals, residential deals, or condo deals.
Okay. Yeah.
That. And then they used to be called condo hotel. Now they're vacation rental. Oh, vacation rental. I've heard of Verbo, and now people start to get it. So, it's really interesting. The guy has a tremendous spin on it. And he's a guy that I closed a loan with for last year. So he came back for repeat business. Actually, Vivian talks to him all the time on Instagram. So that was kind of nice. And so, I'm projecting all that. I'm changing my goals on that. I met with the person with the small industrial deal yesterday, and I was thinking, is this too small for me to work on? And that's a $10 million deal. And the answer is no, I'll work on it. I'll just bring somebody in to help me. That's all.
Right.
I'll do more.
Right.
I'm going to start looking now. I actually have a partner. My partner is based in New York. He's tremendous also. He is. I've known him for 30 years. He met me during the pandemic. He called me. He said, we haven't talked. I've got this, and it started to take off from there. It's really nice. It's really nice because I do business with my friends and I bring them to my other friends. And that's what you said yesterday in the email, which prompted one of my friends to call me and say, let's do deals.
It all comes full circle.
Yeah, it does.
Because people don't know. If people don't know who you are, like your personal brand and who you are and what you stand for, they can't do those business transactions with you. That's why it's so important to stay in front of them. That's why you're doing social media. That's why we're broadcasting live today. That's why you're doing e-blasts. That's why you're calling people. All of these things come together to make this cohesive view that you're there and you're ready for them.
Yes, and in a good way. Everybody's still beaten up. No one really wants aggravation. I have this one client from New Zealand. He hasn't even been able to leave New Zealand for 18 months. We're going to close with him. It's an unbelievable deal we're doing with him. That deal is for paper lots. People go, what's that? I go, it's the front of a guy's farm. That's what it is. Front of a guy's farm. Now we know we have a purchase contract from a couple of big home builders, and we know what the clear path to getting the land use changed is. We're not doing any of that. We're just going to hand the guy, here's the keys to the front of the farm. Enjoy. We changed the land use for you. Double the price. And that's why the guy can do my high octane loan with my friends. And I've got 2 different offshore lenders that'll do those land loans. It's really exciting. And that deal is on the front end of everybody's panic about home building. My favorite was during the 2008 run up to 2008, everybody thought there wouldn't be enough lots in Florida. Are you kidding me? No, here we go again. Everybody's worried they're not going to have enough lots to build in Florida. I got to say it again. Are you kidding me?
It all comes full circle.
Oh my God. I need young people to work with me just so I can call BS on things. It's hilarious. BS, by the way, is what we're going to call on Ed. He's supposedly calling in, but I guess he's not going to make it. So we'll talk a little bit about what I did with Ed. I did one deal with a service provider. I did another deal with one of the hot office leasing guys in town. Got him a deal he never thought he could get. Pulled out money for him, got him a real nice rate. I have another deal that I did with one of my client's daughters. My client doesn't have regular income, but he pays his divorce decree. So we financed it with the wife. The ex-wife. Then let's see. That's that one. I've got another one. It's a former pro athlete who has a cannabis farm in another state. Let's see if I get him financed. If I get him financed, I think I just put a green background behind me and just take orders. There's a lot of things that are changing. Oh, I was working on the hemp farm hard before, now not so hard for a variety of reasons. It's summertime. All the investors are out of town. They all want to go there. But I did find, I think I found the main guy. It just takes a while for people to understand the industry. It's not going to just happen overnight. It's like a real estate deal. It takes a long time. The farmers and the scientists, they don't know. They just figure everybody just coughs up money all the time. But, you need to have a plan, you need to have a team, and you need to then go and present it and get the people out there. And we're doing it, but the hemp farm is less of a priority as the real estate thing goes absolutely bonkers. I mean, really, I don't have time for calls on the hemp thing. I'm doing my primary directive, as they would say on Star Trek. My primary directive, which is to find it the way I left it, or no, wait, leave it the way you found it. That's it. Do no harm. Do no harm.
Do no harm.
Do no harm. Is that so hard? We're going to take an early break. Let's take an early break. You're sticking with me, I hope. You'll ask me another question, and Ed probably won't show up at this point, but that's okay. It just means I got him for this is the second time he hasn't shown up, just for the record. Second time. I'm going to get all over him about this. Reagan, your turn. We're back. I'm going to interrupt the generic music that Reagan finds on the internet so that we don't pay ASCAP. And I'm going to say that we're South Florida's longest running business talk show. We've been on since 2008. It's 2012 when Warren Henry started sponsoring us. And what you're really seeing today is, what am I demonstrating today? That I'm really flexible and can handle whatever life rolls at me, because that ain't showing up. But the other thing I can tell you is that check out my friends at Warren Henry. That's their Lambeau store up in Broward. It's the top one in the country. Why? Because they're tremendous people. Go to our supercar events. We had one last week. It was amazing. I love going just for the colors. I took my niece and my sister. We had a great time. It's a wonderful family event. Family! That's Warren Henry. Become part of the family. Join me, Larry, Eric, Sam, all of the great people, Abe at the Warren Henry family. The people that buy there, they treat them like gold. What do they sell? They sell Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at their store on 151st and Biscayne. Gainesville, they sell Audi cars. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. Probably where I'm going to go to get my Jeep. I love these guys. They treat us like gold. My mom got a car there a few months ago. My wife is getting one in a couple of months. Me, I'm not sure when I'm getting mine. Probably another 18 months, because I'm halfway through. But when I get it, I'm getting it again from them, because they're tremendous. Their brand is that they care. They care. So join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, lots of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
This is Bekah Carlson from Carlson Integrated. A lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Bekah, that's Bekah at carlsonintegrated.com. That's Bekah at carlsonintegrated.com.
All right. Hey, everybody. Give me a call. 305. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that. Call me, email me, DM me. Doesn't matter. I can help you. I help people with real estate financing all the time. I'm happy and upbeat, even if I don't seem like it now. The coffee's wearing off. My mom made me instant Bustelo. Boy, don't you? I like the real thing. Call me. I help people with their real estate deals. 305. I can't say the name, the number, but I'm the real deal. I'm doing all kinds of high-end apartment deals, condo deals. Ed's finally here. He's going to talk about the residential deals we're doing. Rebecca's going to smile and talk about how they're all on point and all brand. Why do you reach out to me? Because when you reach out to me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, this is the potato chip section of the show. That's why we invited Ed Cairo on. Ed, hey, can you hear me? Not yet. He's almost there. There he is. Thank you, Ed. Hey, Ed. We're doing great. Thank you for joining us and interrupting your lunch.
No problem.
Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the stuff that we've been doing. You've been in the mortgage business how long?
25 years.
You're an old man. All right. Yeah, you've seen everything, haven't you?
I sure have.
Twice?
Yep.
So look, let's talk about some of the people we've helped. We've helped the rich guy and his daughter buy the condo for the daughter.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We helped the person in governmental affairs get a refi.
Right. That's right.
Let's see, the high flying realtor with only 1099 income.
Yeah.
We helped him get a super jumbo.
And we got him a ridiculous rate. He was jumping up and down, that particular guy.
Yeah, he's been referring his friends to us too.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let's see, who else? That guy. Let's see another one.
We've got the one we're doing now, the older couple that are on fixed income.
Oh yeah. What'd you do for them? Tell everybody about that one.
Well, that's an interesting case right there. That particular one, she wanted to pull a little bit of cash out and lower her interest rate and thereby lowering her payments. So when we analyzed the credit profile for her, turned out that she owed quite a bit on her credit cards, a ton. And when somebody's on fixed income like they are, Social Security, et cetera, she'll never pay that off. So she was paying almost $1,200 a month for those bills. So what we did was I talked to her about it. Her house had a lot of value. And what I told her was, and Jim and I both were on the same page, was at your age, and they were up there in years, the equity in your property doesn't mean as much to you, right? There was plenty of spread there. The house was worth $600,000 or $700,000. We're doing a $250,000 loan. So most important is cash flow. So why don't we just pay off everything you have, get rid of all those bills, and give you one payment? So of course, most people don't understand it. She said, well, I just don't want my mortgage payment to go up any higher. Oh, yeah, okay. So we paid off $40,000 or $50,000 in bills, and to the tune of $1,200 a month, and her mortgage payment went up $150. So in my book, that's $1,000 a month savings, and all of a sudden it clicked, and she realized, she understood. Now, quite frankly, it's all about cash flow. So she's got an extra $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year coming in to her that she doesn't have to pay, and she has absolutely no bills. And had she been, let's say, younger, in her 40s or whatever, we still do the same type of thing, but the strategy is different. Take that $1,000 savings that you have and start banging down the principal on the mortgage that you have, and you will be surprised how fast that mortgage gets paid off. So it's a win-win across the board. I wouldn't have her do it because she doesn't need the equity. She needs the cash flow in that case.
Now, Ed, we're also working with another gentleman that has cannabis income from another state. We haven't closed with him, but on that, what we did was we found a community bank. Talk a little bit about what we do with the community banks.
The community banks still do, they call it portfolio loans. So therefore they're actually funding these deals themselves, and they're holding on to the paper. So it's almost like in the old days, when they all sit around a table and go, I like that guy. He's good. Let's get him. Let's do him, because we know that he pays his bills and so on. He might not fit into he doesn't fit into the guidelines of Fannie and Freddie and FHA and so on, which is the government. But a lot of investors look at that and say, this guy's as solid as a rock. We're going to take a chance. We're going to do it. Interest rate might be a little bit higher. Loan to value is a little bit lower. But in essence, they get exactly what they want. And the bank is happy. When you have a 780 borrower, which is a 10-year history of his, borrowing capabilities, and he's got all kinds of cash income, so on and so forth, it's a good loan. So very, very, very few will touch them because of the cannabis income, but this particular one will.
Now, Ed, talk in general, because people don't realize, they think of a loan, you can get a loan right away. We're working on one right now where the guy wants a GFE. He wanted a commitment real fast, but we can't really get him the commitment, but we can get him a GFE. The lender, the realtor got involved. How do we help all of that settle down?
Well, GFE, meaning a good faith estimate, some sort of an estimate of what we think the numbers would be. And most people want that right off the bat. They also want to know what their interest rate is and all that. So what happens is, a lot of times we're pre-qualifying these people and we're dealing with a moving target. The interest rates move just like the stock market moves. So it's very difficult to tell somebody you're going to get exactly X. I try to speak in ranges. I'll say, look, you're going to get anywhere between 3.25 to 3.5, probably, if you do it now. If you wait a month, who knows? What's Microsoft going to be at next month? Nobody knows. So when you give an estimate to these guys, you got to be very careful because there are unforeseen, especially in the beginning. You try to cover everything, but there's a lot of stuff we haven't actually analyzed yet. So there could be an unforeseen number. So in most cases, we overdo the estimate just to make sure we're kind of covered. And in most cases, almost all of them, the numbers actually come in less than what we tell them. But, you have to give them some sort of a number so that people are comfortable.
Now, Ed, how we get people closed, because I think a very big part of it is, others. Can you tell a little bit about that? You're frozen in your picture, but please just continue.
I know. I missed what you said, Jim. Say it one more time, if you would. It blanked out on me.
Talk about the back office and how the back office.
The back office. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
talk about closing deals.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We can hear you great, Ed.
Yes.
Okay, great. So what generally happens is, especially in our company, we have several loan officers in our company, and I've been doing this a long time. So what I'll do is I'll pre-qual all the deals, and I structure them right from the beginning, and basically underwrite the file, top to bottom. So when we pre-qualify somebody, I want everything. I want the W-2s, I want the pay stubs, tax returns, bank statements, you name it, I want it. I pull a LexisNexis on these guys, which is what the bank does. I want to know exactly what I'm dealing with. And once we do, it's basically underwritten. So when I'm submitting a loan, there's very few conditions because I've already taken care of that before it goes in. And I read every single document before I turn it in, because some documents I want to turn in, other documents I don't want to turn in for various reasons. And what will happen is, once I get an approval from an underwriter, so it'll go into, let's say, underwriting. Once I get the underwriting approval, meaning they've read everything, they look through it, and they go, oh, I need this bank statement, I need that. That comes the middle guy, which is my brother, Greg. He's an MBA, and we brought him into the fold, and he's awesome. And what he'll do is he'll collect all the documents that are needed. They call it STIPs in our business, but he'll collect all the STIPs, and he'll get everything ready. We review them thoroughly before we upload them. Very important. And now we give the lenders what they want, and they start to go through it. And basically, they're just checking it off. Okay, this is good. That's good. This is good. Okay, we're good. We order the appraisal. We order the title. We order the insurance. Then it goes to my other brother, Paul. Of course, we're the mortgage brothers. There's three of us. It goes to my brother, Paul, who's a genius on the closing side. And he's the closer. So what he'll do is he'll produce the closing document called the CD. He'll go through the numbers with the lenders. He goes through the numbers with the title company, the insurance people. We coordinate all that. And then one kind of really interesting thing that we do is, as a whole, we always do, is he contacts the client at that point and goes through the whole closing document with them, all the numbers, every single thing, any questions they have. We go through it. So it's total transparency. Whatever we told them is exactly what they're going to get. If we have to fix anything, we fix it on the spot right there. So when they go to a closing, meaning our clients, if it's local, I'll go and I'll be sitting there with them in case something needs to be fixed or altered or changed. But most of the time, if it's a little farther away and I don't go, it's a 5-minute closing because we've already gone over all the documents. I really don't need some attorney going through my documents explaining to them what we did. So we do it ourselves. And, we take care of our clients like it's our family. And we make sure that when it's all said and done, they're smiling and everybody's happy. And that's how we do it.
Well, thank you so much, Ed, for coming on. You certainly did show people why I teamed up with you to help everybody. It really is tremendous. You bring a great energy to every transaction, and I want to thank you. You're always about solving for getting it done. Really appreciate it.
Always. And working with you, Jim, is tremendous. So your customers are very, very happy with your performance always, and it's a good marriage in this way.
I want to thank you so much. I want to thank everybody for being on the show. I want to thank Bekah, Carlson. We talked about branding and promoting your brand. I want to thank Ed, Cairo, and the Mortgage Brothers for being on the show and talking about the way we help people with residential mortgages. I want to thank Reagan Mendoza for being on the show. I want to thank Warren Henry for being a sponsor. And I want to remind everybody, next Wednesday at noon, we'll be on again on all the social media channels with another great edition of Freed on Business. Now, remember, the person who wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you, and God bless America.